All right, good day, everybody, and welcome to Headline Hits with LW. It is Monday, September the 26th, 2022. A lot going on out there. Some of it, I'm just really trying hard to get any kind of confirmation on some of the information that was sent to me over the weekend. And I'm not finding any of it. Obviously, you're not going to find any of it in lamestream media, but we're working on it. So things happening in the the UK, United Kingdom. I was told this weekend it looks like that maybe they're going to lock the UK down. Something to do with the financial system, um, bringing in extra police forces, possible run on the bank. Again, none of this has been confirmed yet. Also, videos sent to me over the weekend where there looked to be UN soldiers in the UK. So I don't know. We're looking at that. And then here in America, BlackRock Vanguard looks like they filed bankruptcy the beginning of 2020, and it just got signed by a judge. It looks like about September 22nd. Now that has been verified. How does that affect the U.S. and U.S. economy? I don't know. I would think that it would definitely have something to do with the market and the change in the market and a possible drop in the market. So, just things that are out there, folks. Again, I haven't been able to verify, but just the BlackRock Vanguard stuff. So let's pay attention and see what happens. Just seems like there's stuff that is unexplained. So let's hit the headlines. Some of the stuff that is out there that we can take a look at. Now, this one right here, the Democrats are in trouble, and we all know that they're in trouble. They can't hide it. So a poll shows that Democrats want anybody but Joe Biden in 2024. Anybody but Joe is the simple message and a clear majority of Democrats delivered in an ABC News / Washington Post poll released on Sunday, indicating that the party should replace Joe Biden as its nominee and as president in 2024. Now, why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up because this is a hardcore deal for the midterms, which is just weeks away, right? So the poll figures come ahead of the November midterm elections, which already promise to have a litmus test on both the president's overall appeal and the party's hopes to control the House and the Senate, which both chambers barely have a majority. Now, I'm also bringing this up because, again, I can't confirm any of it. I can't deny any of it. There was whispers yesterday that were sent to me. Actually, it was late last night, about 11 o'clock, that they're talking about possible 25th. Are they going to enact that? I don't know. Or are they going to force this person right here to resign and step down, which would move Hills Up Kamala Harris into that number one seat? So I don't know. Just things that I'm kind of throwing out there, folks. We'll see what happens with it. Just a lot of stuff going on. Okay, this one here, I found a little bit hilarious over the weekend. So I played the video, and it's not worth playing here. You can't hear anything, can't really hear the boos. But it says the video showed audience booing Nancy at an NYC music festival. So if you read it a little bit further here in the article, the welcome was anything but warm for House Speaker Nancy Pelosi on Saturday night as she was booed on stage in the Global Citizens Festival. Now, again, I watched the video. You can catch it on Breitbart. It's right there. It's not worth really watching. You can't really hear anything. But this is what I wanted to bring up. So in the article, she was on stage and she started talking about climate change and the climate issues. Now, listen, folks, I'm going to report here just there is an absolute war going on in California right now over climate change. So stick with me because you're going to want to hear this. And so Nancy Pelosi and the left and even some Republicans are all part of the Green New Deal. And they are pushing it hardcore. And California is paying the ultimate price right now. We're going to talk about it at the end of this headline hits because I got the article for you guys. Here's something that's very, very concerning, folks. And I'm going to put this out there. Biden makes securing U.S. jobs easier for border crossers and illegal aliens. Now, listen to the Trump policies that he reversed. So the resident, Joe Biden's administration, is making it easier for border crossers, illegal aliens, to secure American jobs after they are released into the United States interior. In 2019, now listen to this policy. In 2019, former president, well, he's still my president, Donald Trump, directed the Department of Homeland Security, the DHS, to stop fast-tracking work permits for border crossers and illegal aliens who are subsequently released into the United States communities. The rule change made sure that border crossers and illegal aliens would need to be in the U.S. for at least 1 year before they could apply for work permits through the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. Now, Rutgers reports that Biden has repealed the Trump-era rule change to ensure that hundreds of thousands of border crossers and illegal aliens his DHS releases every few months into the United States interior can now more quickly ensure work permits and take American jobs. Remember what I said, folks. We went from Donald Trump, America first, to Joe Biden, America last. Every policy, every procedure, everything that this administration continues to do here in America is nothing short of America last. America last. All right, let's hit the next headline. This one here, My Son Hunter star Lawrence Fox on Bannon's War Room. It's absolutely appalling that this drug addict is on a plane with his father selling Americans' future to the Chinese. So remember, the movie My Son Hunter came out. Also, the book written by Peter Schweizer, Red Handed. It's connecting the dots. There's so much evidence and proof out there that the Biden family is 100% corrupt. So the star came on and said that my son Hunter has blasted the character he plays, first son Hunter Biden, for his appalling behavior, including peddling his father's influence in order to score lucrative businesses in countries hostile to the United States. In the interview with Steve Bannon's popular The War Room podcast this week, Lawrence Fox took Hunter Biden to task for his frequently reckless behavior. So here he is. We just seen him recently, about 4 to 6 weeks ago, getting on Air Force One as they were getting ready to go on a family vacation somewhere. Where is this okay in America? If this was the Trump family, the press wouldn't leave this alone. They would follow the Trump family everywhere they went and question Trump over and over and over again. Why is your drug-addicted son riding around on Air Force One? But when it comes to the Biden family, nothing going on here. Move ahead, folks. Nothing going on. My Son Hunter star Lawrence Fox on Bannon's War Room. The Bidens are getting off scot-free while left spend 4 years trying to impeach a legitimate elected president. Now, let's not forget about that. We're going to continue to talk about it. Impeachment 1, impeachment 2, Russia, constant witch hunt, and still a witch hunt on our president, Donald Trump. And yet this family, the Biden family, remember this? You don't get the $1 billion until you fire that SOB. Remember? He was vice president of the United States when his son was traveling all over the country, going to China, going to Russia, going to Romania, going to the Ukraine, making all of these business deals, making billions and billions of dollars for this corrupt family. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's doing anything about it. But yet we're going to continue this witch hunt on J6. We're going to continue these witch hunts and I'm going to bring this up here later in the show, but we're going to go witch hunts clear deep into the conservative movement. And we're going to talk about that here shortly. So pay attention because it's very, very concerning. So Donald Trump makes a statement that Joe Biden is cognitively impaired, may lead to World War III. Hey, if this guy can't seem to make any kind of good decisions, it's very possible that he could get us into problems. Just think about the White House constantly having to walk back any one of these statements that this clown makes. So former president, still my president, Donald Trump, said during a Save America rally in North Carolina on Friday that resident Joe Biden is cognitively impaired and warned that his leadership might lead to the United States in World War III. Now, this is what I want to say about this, and I'm going to move on to the next headline. The things that Donald Trump says, a lot of it seems to come true. That's what's concerning to me about this statement is, does he know something that we don't know? Is he putting this out there just to get us concerned, or is that the path that we're on right now? Because we see a lot of things, a lot of countries posturing, a lot of different things out there that is concerning. Bottom line, very concerning. So I really hope that this is a statement that he is 100% incorrect about, because it always seems like he's right on track with things. All right, next headline. Americans lost over $4,000 in annual income thanks to resident Joe Biden. Here you go, folks. When he keeps telling everybody that to trust him, that he knows what he's doing, and that everything's good and everything's getting better. Heck, they're even having a party on the White House lawn celebrating all of their accomplishments, which they have zero accomplishments. They have made everything worse. Americans are bleeding money and struggling to make ends meet thanks to resident Joe Biden. New economic numbers show that the average American has lost the equivalent of $4,200 in annual income under the clown Biden administration because of inflation and higher interest rates, higher gas prices, higher grocery prices, you name it, everything is higher under this clown of administration. And Americans are paying the price. We're all paying the price. Price at the pump, price at the grocery store. Anybody who votes Democrat in the next two elections needs to have their heads examined. And I'm going to bring something else up when we get to Cheney here next. It's more than just Democrats, right? Proponents of media cartel bill admitted that it would help combat misinformation. Here we go with the whole misinformation. And don't forget, Ted Cruz seems to be, we're going to read about this, seems to be advocating for this. So proponents of the Judicial Compensation and Preservation Act, the JCPA, admitted during a House Judicial Committee last year that it would essentially help combat misinformation as Democrats and liberal media outlets champion the bill, which would promote censorship of conservative viewpoints under the guise of protecting local journalism. This directly contradicts the narrative offered by Senator Ted Cruz, who caved on the media cartel bill and even commended the bill sponsors. So now what are they talking about in this article? They're talking about me. They're talking about you. They're talking about any alternative media resource out there that's putting out truth, that will continue to put out the truth. They want to censor us. They don't like the fact that it competes with Communist News Network, with Fox News, with NBC, CBS, any of those other affiliates out there. They're losing viewership because of people like me. Hundreds and thousands and millions of people watch people like me, people like Steve Bannon, other alternative outlets out there. They're watching us and they're not watching them. Well, they don't like it, so they're trying to do something about it. So they want to censor my voice and they want to censor Steve Bannon and everyone else out there.
speaking at this Texas Tribune conference yesterday. She says, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure Kari Lake is not elected. Your reaction?
That might be the biggest, best gift I've ever received. I mean, the people of Wyoming can't stand her. I'm pretty much sure that the people of Arizona don't like Liz Cheney. Here's the deal, Maria. The Republican Party, the new Republican Party, is the party of we the people. It is no longer the party of warmongers. And so Liz Cheney probably should change her voter registration. Turns out she really is a Democrat after all.
Well, let's talk about your agenda. She said it does include campaigning with the Democrats to make sure that you don't win. Tell me what your priorities are.
Okay. I wanted to bring that up because we talk about a lot of the rhinos, right? So let's hit the next headline real quick, and I'm going to tie this together. So Liz Cheney comes out and says, I'll do everything I can to stop Arizona Republican Kari Lake. All right. Outgoing U.S. Representative Liz Cheney, Republican, supposedly Republican in name from Wyoming, who was just voted out last month. Wyoming's had enough of her. She stinks. They voted her out in the primary, who is thumbed in her Republican primary last month, vowed Saturday night to do everything she can to stop Arizona voters from electing Republican Kari Lake. Now, what does that mean? I'll do everything that I can. You got to pay attention to the words that these people use and say. So this person, Liz Cheney, horrible person in my opinion, also has gone on record stating that she'll do everything she possibly can to keep Donald Trump from ever becoming president of the United States again. Now, why I'm bringing her up is because she claims to be a Republican, just like Mitt Romney, just like Turtle Man Mitch McConnell, just like Lindsey Graham, just like so many of those people out there that claim to be Republican. But look at the article. You just heard what Kari Lake said. Well, it's Liz Cheney in her own words. Liz Cheney actually said that if it came down to it, that she would drop out of the Republican Party, which why are you part of the Republican Party anyway? We all know you're a Democrat, and she said she will help Democrats get voted in this next election. Let's listen to it real quick.
That if Donald Trump is the GOP nominee for president in 2024, she is going to leave her party.
As you may recall, Cheney was booted from House Republican leadership last year over her criticism of Trump and mainly her role on the January 6th committee. She lost this year's primary election to a Trump-backed candidate.
Let's bring in CNN congressional reporter Daniela Diaz, who joins us now. Capitol Hill. Daniela, Cheney participating in this forum in Texas. She had a lot to say. Walk us through it.
She had a lot to say indeed, Boris. One of them being a question about whether she would run for president in 2024 against
God help us.
former President Donald Trump. She, of course, dodged that question as she's continued to dodge that question since she lost her primary. She will not serve in the next Congress. But really notable, as you all said, that she said if Donald Trump wins the Republican nomination in 2024, she will no longer be consider herself a Republican. Take a listen to what she said.
I think that Donald Trump he's the only president in American history who refused to guarantee a peaceful transition of power.
That's a lie. That's a lie. The Clintons destroyed the White House when they left office. The Obamas weren't real happy about Trump coming in either. So that's an absolute lie.
And so now the fact that my party has refused in the months since then to stand up to him, I think does tell you how sick the party is.
I think it's Republicans in name, like you, Mitt Romney, Turtle Man, Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, and the whole gang. When you won't stand up for what's going on in our country, which is treasonous, which is absolutely wrong, it tells us, the American people, how sick you guys are.
I'm going to make sure Donald Trump, the Democrat candidate, make sure he's not the nominee. And if he is the nominee, I won't be a Republican.
Okay. Thank you.
So there you have it. I won't be a Republican. When has she ever been a Republican, folks? Her father wasn't a Republican either. Neither is Mitch McConnell. Neither is Mitt Romney. These people play on us. They play on us night and day and think that we're stupid and that we're going to continue to go along, to get along, and just allow these people to be reelected over and over again. And they're going to go to Congress and they're going to go to the Senate. And no more. We're not going to put up with this any longer. So here's the last headline for today. California at war with climate change. Now, before I read this article, remember this. California has put a moratorium on any more construction of gas stations. They have put a moratorium on it. What does that mean? That means they're no longer releasing any type of building permits in the state of California to build any more gas stations. By the year 2030, they want all gasoline vehicles gone in the state of California. They want all electric vehicles, period. They also put a moratorium on the seabed mining outside of California for any materials that can be used to manufacture the batteries for electric vehicles. Manufacturers have stated anyone who's relying on these lithium batteries to produce electric cars are kidding themselves. We don't have what it takes to do this. They've also had rolling blackouts in California where they say, hey, don't charge your electric vehicle. Don't use your gas, your refrigerator. Don't turn your AC on. So here is another thing that California is doing on the war and climate and hurting California citizens. California to ban, listen to this, California to ban natural gas heaters and furnaces by 2030. California Air Resources Board, the CARB, rightfully stated, voted unanimously last week to pass a plan to ban natural gas heaters and furnaces by 2030. Are you kidding me? Boy, how are people in California going to heat their houses? How are they going to cook their meals if their houses are gas ranges, right? They are on a path of complete destruction for the state of California. That's all I can say, man. When I started reading this article, which you can catch it in Breitbart, it's horrible. How many people in California rely on natural gas to heat their houses in the winter or to even cook on, 12 months out of the year? And by 2030, do you guys realize that 2023 is right around the corner? That is 7 years from now. California wants no natural gas in California. No natural gas. 5 years later, they don't want any combustible engine vehicles. It's a war on climate in California that is destroying the state. And it's very sad and unfortunate that is happening. And now you can see why Californians are leaving by the hundreds of thousands. I think I reported just a few months ago, over 650,000 Californians have left that state just in the last year and a half, because it's pathetic and it's communism at its best. It's really sad to see this happening to such a beautiful state of California. California is not a bad state. And there are conservatives that live in that state that are not bad people. But the government in California, the governor, the politicians are all bad. And what they're doing. They're really messing with me today, folks. I think that's like the second or third time that they've kicked me out of my own software. So I guess we must be over the target. We're putting out the truth. All right. That's all we have for today for Headline Hits. I'll be back at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the big show. We'll see how many times they kick us off of that one. Love y'all. God bless.